Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be unboxing the ZZ Gundam Ver.Ka. This is the latest in the Master Grade Ver.Ka line. Always great, full of waterside decals, got a lot of interesting gimmicks in them as always. This one is kind of, I guess, its main gimmick is that it transforms, it fully transforms, as any good ZZ Gundam should. But how is the transformation going to be? The last major transforming Ver.Ka kit was the V2, and it wasn't great, to be honest. Looks like a fine kit, standing, but couldn't really do a whole lot much else. So this one, I don't know. I think that this one's going to be much, much better, though. Just based on some of the early photos and things that I've seen of the kits. It looks pretty solid. I've never really personally been a big fan of the Double Zeta myself, just the design hasn't really appealed too much to me, but this release has made me really kind of like the design. Still, I think it's just the colors for me. I think that's kind of the main thing. The colors it's like a really big, badass looking design, and then it's in these really cartoony colors. It just kind of doesn't really fit. So I really much prefer the colors of the Sentinel version, just that kind of muted gray and blue tone. So probably what I'll end up painting mine in something like that, I suppose, later in the future. At the moment of recording this video, there's no announcement of any Sentinel variant coming out as a P-Bandai kit, or even a Phaz or a full armor ZZ Gundam coming out. But I assume that will probably maybe be coming in the future. And I think just taking a look at the runners and through the construction of the kit, it'll be easy enough to tell whether a full armor version will be coming or not. I think I would definitely put money on Bandai probably having the plans for that already laid out, and possibly already a prototype already made. But they may just be judging the sales of the base kit first before they decide to go through with the production of the full armor set for that. I don't know, who knows. I believe that's kind of what they did for the V2 and the Assault Buster unit for that. The V2 just didn't really sell well enough, so they just scrapped the Assault Buster parts for that. So anyway, here's what the bottom and top of the box is going to look like. Pretty much exactly the same. On the side of the box, we just got what this is going to look like, transformed, separated into the three major sections there, and some information here in Japanese and English. So you can check that out there if you want. There's one part, and then here's just some other stuff going over kind of what are some of the main gimmicks of this kit there, so you can pause that if you want. It says no glue required, and the list price for this is 6,000 yen. I was actually, and I think probably not alone in the people that were a little bit surprised at the kind of lowish cost of this. 6,000 yen is a pretty good price for this kit. I think I would have probably assumed something around 7,000, 7,500 yen for this, so I know that's not a huge difference, but I think 6,000 yen is a pretty good price tag for this. So again, there it is, transformed, some specifications on it there. What the kit is going to look like, all painted up and decaled up. Not super crazy with the decals, like we've seen with other kits from Katoki, but here you can see some of the detail shots here. It does have some pre-painted parts. I think maybe one or two of the runners have this pre-painted silver on them, so there's some of the details there you can see in some of these detail shots, as well as the pilot figure in the core fighter. And let's get this opened up. So as you'd imagine, this box is stacked up to the brim, and got some multicolored parts, some white parts, and there's a few foil stickers in there, very small foil sticker sheet it looks like, some red parts, some mutant effect parts, whole bunch of frame. There's that pre-printed silver. It looks like just one small runner for that. Pre-painted, I should say, not pre-printed. There's frame parts, water slide decals. We'll take a closer look at those in a moment as well. And then finally getting down to the manual. So typical Ver.Ka style manual has this kind of zoomed in look at the face of the kit. And this is an actual painted version of the kit, not a CG render or artwork or anything like that. So it is the actual painted kit there. And on the back, just nice, simple design work there. On the inside front cover, some really nice photographs of the kit, talking about some details and everything. This has a whole lot of information here in Japanese and English, so you can read all of this. A little bit here about Judo Ashita. And yeah, so I'm sure all this information is all on the wiki page. It's not probably anything new. But just going through the runners here, We have some parts on the A runner that there's a double of the A runner, so some parts you need doubles of, some parts you don't, so there's a few X'd off parts there. But other than that, nothing really too much. There's a couple of X's there, it's kind of the same deal, just a double runner, and some parts you don't need doubles of. So everything I would assume for this kit is brand new, except for maybe the polycaps and the effect parts. But so we're building it, looks like, kind of very similar to the V2. You build the core fighter first, and you build like the rest of the kit around that and kind of build it up around that. So we're building like the head, the top half of the kit, the upper body, and the legs, and again, I believe if this is like you're actually building two of the core fighter as well. So again, like the V2, you'll have two core fighters, one that's actually in the kit, and then one that you can have out kind of separately if you want. Getting to the middle section, some artwork there. So this is, I guess, the design work that Katoki did that they then used for making the kit. There's a little bit about just the designing of the kit in general here, and then a whole bunch of information here. Perfect transformation and combination for the ZZ Gundam. So this is actually an interview here that's included here. This is an interview with Akitaka Mika and Katoki Hajime, I guess, for about designing the kit. So that's pretty interesting. Thought to give that a read later. And then it's just more about the construction, and then of course they need to spend a few pages going over the transformation. And then finally at the back we have our color chart there at the top for the mobile suit and the pilot figure. I mean, it looks like all pretty standard colors. It's just like white, gray, primary colors, green, and then you can see here is where all of the decals markings are going to be going everywhere on there. Alright, let's get to look at the runners. So before we get into that, I actually just want to say a big thank you to USA Gundam Store for sending me this kit to share with you guys. If you guys do check out their site, you can use my coupon code there, ZakuAurelius10, to save yourself 10% on whatever you buy there, this kit or whatever else. Again, like I said, I think this kit is really reasonably priced, but saving 10% extra wouldn't hurt at all, right? So those guys are awesome. Always thankful to them for their support here on my channel. So here we have the foil stickers. Again, just 5 little foil stickers, 2 for the cameras, 2 for the eyes, and then 2 square ones. I think those are for the double beam cannon, probably. No, that big one's for the double beam cannon. Those 2 square green ones would be for where? I don't know exactly offhand, but yeah. And our waterslide decal sheets, nice and big. It's caught a lot of stuff on there. It's all pretty generic markings. There's not really too much that's like really specific for the double Zeta. There's just a couple of like AG010 custom markings there, AUG marking there. It's all white and red, and then a few just dark gray for those. And this is technically runner Z, but this is just Saber 3 from 2000. I believe these are 160 scale beam saber effect parts. So these will be for our very large beam effect parts for the large Hyper Beam Saber, I think is what they're called, or something like that. PC211 for our polycap runner. This is from 2015, so I'm not sure, but possibly this runner was from the V2, I want to say. Possibly that came out right at the end of 2015, if I remember correctly, so this maybe is from that. And in typical fashion, the A runner here is in 4 colors, a few white parts here, some clear parts there for the canopy and landing gear for the core fighter, some yellow parts here for some vents, and then some blue parts there throughout as well. So I think most of the parts for building the core fighter are here, and then there'll probably be some parts from other runners as well. But then we do have 2 of this runner as well, so 2 A runners. And runner B, a big oversized runner here in just kind of standard gray color. So this is obviously a whole bunch of parts for the inner frame. All new original parts for this kit. You can see here's some parts for the hands. It looks like the hands are going to be just swappable fingers. And then some other things that are just kind of different as well. So there's some interesting stuff there going on with the hands. We'll have to check that out in the review. Runner C is just more of the same of that. Standard gray parts, and it's all just parts for inner frame and details and weapon parts on here as well. And we have 2 of this C runner. And the runner D, another very big, oversized, very full, very gray runner here of parts for the inner frame. So as you'd imagine with a fairly large Gundam and a transforming one, it's got to have a very complicated inner frame. So there's a lot of stuff going on here for the frame of this. So and we have 2 of this, so that means 5 big, full, oversized runners of frame parts. The runner E is our white parts for the kit, so they're actually all designated to just basically one runner. There's a few more on another runner, but basically all here on the E runner, and we do have 2 of this E runner for all of the white parts for the arms and legs, basically. Then we got runner F1, which is a big full runner of red parts here. Really nice red color. I think this is the red color that they've been using lately, which is a little bit dull red. Looks very nice compared to like a really super bright red. Then we have runner F2, which is a copy of the top half of the runner there. Then we got runner G1, so this is the other white parts for the kit. So these would be white parts that aren't doubled. So like for the skirt sections and for the head, you can see obviously some parts for the head there, as well as our standing pilot figure of Judo Ashita, which looks pretty cool. It's got kind of a little bit of a style to the pose instead of just like a really static, boring pose. So that looks pretty nice, I like that. And then we have runner G2, which is our silver plated parts. So I'd imagine probably under the silver plating, this is probably white, considering it was connected to this one. But this looks pretty cool. It's in like a really dull silver. It's not like super bright, shiny chrome or anything. So this should look pretty nice. Not sure about the nub placement on these. We'll have to see in the construction. But yeah, nothing I can tell. Yeah, it looks like nothing on this runner is actually undergated. So we'll have to see if that matters at all. Runner H is our blue parts for the kit. Not too many of them, mostly just on the double beam rifle and the chest kind of section there, but all our blue parts there. And then finally runner I is just in this really dark navy color, and we do have 2 of this I runner. So it's actually kind of interesting that it's a really big kit, really big full box, a lot of parts involved, and it only got to runner I. You'd think they would get to like M, N, O, P, much farther down the alphabet, but I think what they did is they just packed a lot more parts onto the runners. So like as you saw with some of the previous runners, not exactly this one in particular, but some of those other runners are very large and very full of parts. So that's kind of an interesting way that they decided to do that for this kit. It's a very big full box of stuff. It's going to be plenty to work on with this kit, so I'm going to get to work on snapping this up. Again, thank you to ZZ Gundam Store. You guys are awesome, and you guys are awesome too. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your questions and comments down below. I guess your question is just going to be when's the review coming, so I'll have the review coming up for you guys next. That is going to be where you're going to be able to see a lot more of what you want to see about this kit, I'm sure. So we'll get to that as soon as possible, and I'll see you guys in the review. Bye bye. Hey! Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to check the kit out for yourself, you can head over to ZZ Gundam Store. Use that coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Save yourself 10%. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.